Finally, a moment to celebrate after an agonizing year. This woman, a personal support worker at a Toronto nursing home who has worked countless double shifts, is among the first Canadians to get a COVID-19 vaccine. Good evening and thanks for joining us. It is happening. The first doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine have been delivered and Canada's mass immunization campaign is underway. The first shots were given in Ontario and Quebec. 30,000 doses are expected to arrive at 14 sites in all 10 provinces by the end of this week. Some are calling today V-Day. And Canada isn't the only country celebrating. Vaccinations also began in the U.S. today. One of the first people to receive one was critical care nurse Sandra Lindsay. She works in a New York City hospital ICU.
I feel hopeful today, relieved. I feel like healing is coming. I want to instill public confidence that the vaccine is safe. We're in a pandemic, and so we all need to do our parts to put an end to the pandemic.
In both the U.S. and Canada, the plan is to roll out the vaccine to the general public early next year. For now, with supplies limited, doses are being reserved for people considered the highest priority. Eric Sorensen begins our vaccine coverage tonight.
It's reminiscent of emergency air supplies to the developing world, only it's Canada. The resources of government, science and logistics being brought to modern-day disaster relief. The first needles prepared at Toronto's University Health Network, specific location withheld for security reasons. The first recipients from the Rakai nonprofit long-term care centre, frontline workers who battled outbreaks and death at their facility. Anita Kidangan, for 30 years a personal support worker and among the first in the country to get a COVID-19 shot. How did it feel?
I'm okay. I'm excited.
Yeah, why?
Because I'm the first one to get the vaccine.
4 more care workers who, like so many Canadians, risked their safety, also now getting protection.
We have been waiting for this for so long, and I'm here now, and I'm so thankful.
It's an historic moment in a pandemic that has sickened and killed thousands in this country.
Today, really, we turn the corner. I like to say this is the shot that will be heard around the world, literally. And we're going to really start conquering this illness thanks to you.
The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, the first of several that Canada has contracts to receive, requires ultra-cold refrigeration. They're going to 14 centres equipped with special freezers in all 10 provinces. The first 30,000 doses being divided up this week represent just a fraction of 1% of what will be needed in the months ahead. But less than 1 year after COVID-19 swept into Canada, Ontario's Premier was there to witness the arrival of medicine that it's hoped will return the country back to normal.
Make no mistake, there's a long road ahead of us, but what this represents is hope and proof that this pandemic will come to an end.
Experts insist there have been no shortcuts on safety.
The speed is the result of a singular focus of the entirety of civilization on one problem. And when money is no object, magical things can happen.
And so the first publicized needles also kick off an effort to reassure Canadians the vaccine is safe. The boss at the Rakai Centre said she was challenged by her staff.
If you get it, then I will get it. So I'm here, I'm taking it for the team. We're doing this not only for ourselves, but mostly for our residents and their families so that they have faith in us.
Canada has contracts for so many vaccines that it could potentially receive enough not only for all Canadians, but ultimately enough to share with other parts of the world. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Toronto.
Vaccinations also began today in Quebec, where the first doses went to long-term care homes. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine needs to be kept ultra-cold, and in many jurisdictions it's been deemed too complex to move beyond vaccination sites inside hospitals. But Quebec overcame that. And as Mike Armstrong reports, some of the most vulnerable Quebecers are now the first to be protected.
This was the first vaccination in Quebec.
Je vais aller, Madame Lévesque, je vais piquer, okay?
89-year-old Giselle Lévesque didn't bat an eyelash. When it was over, she simply asked the nurse if it went well and was told it had, followed by this moment.
Amanda!
I made it!
Quebec's first shipments of Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine went to 2 long-term care facilities, one in Quebec City where Levesque was vaccinated and this one in Montreal.
Yeah, thank you.
First up at the Maimonides Geriatric Center was Gloria Laluz. The 78-year-old has lost 8 friends to COVID-19. She's been so scared she hasn't left her room in months. Getting the shot, she says, couldn't have been easier and couldn't have been more important.
Everybody has to get a vaccination. It's the only way we're going to be able to live.
Quebec took delivery of 5 boxes of vaccine, enough for about 2,500 people. Now, where most provinces are setting up vaccination centers and will move people to those sites, Quebec is trying to go another way. It's prioritized the most vulnerable, seniors in long-term care facilities, so it's sending the first batches there. Parallel to vaccinating residents, they're also going to be vaccinating healthcare workers. But Pfizer-BioNTech doesn't allow the vaccine to be moved, so once the doses are in the freezers at long-term care facilities, that's it.
They have to come here until the last dose. They have to come here.
So each one.
Quebec is hoping once Pfizer-BioNTech sees the process can be moved around, it may loosen some of the rules.
I think with the time, over the next few days, they'll see that we can vaccine properly.
Now, as this good news drops in Quebec, there may be some rough news coming. The Premier is set to announce a lockdown Tuesday, effective after Christmas. It would include the closure of businesses deemed non-essential and extending the holiday breaks for schools. Mike Armstrong, Global News.
Thank you.
Montreal.